And joining us now from Washington, D.C., Senator Roger Wicker, representing the great state of Mississippi. Good morning, Senator.
Hello, Gerard. How you doing? You enjoying this?
Yes, sir, I am. I hope you're able to listen to us every now and then. I really do, and appreciate you coming on the show today.
Glad to be on the show. It's been a great day. A lot of stuff done.
Yeah, so have you, I'm going to get right to it. Have you met with the president's nominee for Supreme Court, Justice Amy Coney Barrett? Have you had the opportunity to visit with her on a one-on-one situation yet?
I met with her today,
Wow.
about an hour ago, and we had a chance to talk for about 20 minutes, and she's everything that you've been told. I mean, she's articulate. Uh, uh, she's smart. It just and her philosophy is right. In my opening remarks to the press, I mentioned that out of my seven grandchildren, five of them are granddaughters, and I think people like Amy Coney Barrett will be a great inspiration to my granddaughters, and I
Absolutely.
want to look to her as an inspiration.
And I think a lot of people, certainly Senator on our side of the aisle, feel that way, that what a great role model. And Justice Ginsburg, in many ways, was absolutely a role model. I didn't always agree with her on her positions and philosophy, but you had to have deep respect for her
Well, yeah.
as a jurist. And I think, and the president said that, and I haven't seen anybody on our side not agree with that, frankly.
Well,
Um,
I think that's what Justice Scalia would have said. I think that actually
yeah,
you and I would have disagreed with Justice Ginsburg on almost every important issue,
yeah,
um, and yet Justice Scalia was able to be dear friends with her and enjoy a love of other things
yeah,
and a respect for each other. But when I went to law school back in the '70s, um, it was 95% male in law school classes.
right.
It's not the case at all anymore. So yes, Judge Ginsburg made great strides by just insisting that she be considered. Much like Martha McSally, the Republican senator from Arizona, insisted that she be given a chance to be a fighter pilot just like the men. And so she was able to do that and be the first, not the first woman pilot, but the first woman fighter pilot in
Fighter
the United
pilot, right.
States. Yeah. So this
Quite.
is great.
Yeah, and so breaking glass ceilings, as they say, two great examples of that. And so just paying a little bit of attention to Senator Lindsey Graham's remarks, he's got a fairly aggressive schedule set up for the hearings, certainly for his committee, the Judiciary Committee, getting Amy Coney Barrett's nomination approved, I guess, and then on to the floor at large. But a very aggressive schedule. He thinks maybe in a couple of weeks we can get this thing to the full Senate. Your thoughts on that, Senator?
Well, yes, he thinks by October 22nd. At least that's what the majority leader told me yesterday.
Okay, okay,
I see Lindsey all the time, and he's a great friend of mine. We came to Congress together, to the House back in after the '94 election, so we've been friends a long time. I think it's realistic. There's some waiting periods that have to be observed, but I think we can get her reported out of judiciary by October 22nd and voted on the next week. And of course, it goes without saying for folks like you and me, the best thing about Judge Amy Coney Barrett is her judicial philosophy, not trying to rewrite the statutes, but being bound by the law, being bound by the Constitution and its original intent. And if the lawmakers want to change the law, that's the role of the Congress. But I just really like the idea that that her intellect and her philosophy are so strong that she got the endorsement of every member of the faculty at the university where she used to teach, Notre Dame. Not just the Republicans, but from left to right, they recognize that someone that has the temperament and intellect of Judge Barrett is the type of person we need on the court. And the fact that she has a conservative philosophy, this is one of the reasons I ran for the United States Senate, to change the direction of the Supreme Court and
Sure.
federal courts. And we've done that during these 4 years
Yep.
of the Trump administration. Over 50 conservative judges added for lifetime appointments to the bench, including some Mississippians.
And I think that's an accomplishment and a power, frankly, from the White House that gets overlooked, doesn't get really discussed a lot. It doesn't come up in the debates, for example. And I think a lot of voters just don't focus on that. They don't consider a great deal about that when they're going into their polling place. But it's so critical, especially when we've got certain districts that have judges sitting on the bench that are, frankly, as they say, they're legislators, they're congressmen in robes, I think is the term often ascribed to them.
Actually, I think that's one of the three greatest accomplishments of this first Trump term. Filling these judge positions, and many that President Obama left unfilled for some unknown reason, with conservative, strict constructionists. Also, the way we have lightened the regulatory touch on people who want to create jobs. And then the third thing, making our tax laws more globally competitive and cutting taxes for 95% of Americans. Those are the three things. And the judges are part of it because it gives certainty to somebody who wants to expand their business and hire some more Americans. It gives certainty to the fact that we're going to abide by the rule of law here in the United States. And that's why the economy was going so great until the coronavirus came around in January and February of this year and required us to shut the economy down. The economy, because of those three things, was 3.5% unemployment rate, something that back when I was in Econ 101, they told us we would never get to. 4% was employment.
That was the natural rate, they called it, yeah. Yeah, so, and the president, I think he prosecutes his case for that pretty effectively. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of that talk in the debate, do we? Watching the debate the other night, Chris Wallace didn't seem to be interested in talking about that fact.
Yes, that probably was not our best moment, but there is supposed to be a lot of time for talking about whatever you want to. So
sure,
I don't know if it's quite as significant as the press is making it, but we have more debates,
right?
And I think the message is going to get out there. That we have had excellent accomplishments for the American worker and for the American family during the almost 4 years of this administration, and I hope the American people want to continue doing that.
So I know you're heavily involved with the Senate and maintaining control and power there for the Republicans in the Senate. Got a lot of key races across the country. One in particular I'll call your attention to is up in Michigan with John James. He's the GOP nominee. Fantastic candidate. He's within the margin, it seems like, against Senator, is it Gary Andrews? Is that his name, I believe?
Senator Gary Peters, yes.
Peter, excuse me, yes.
He's a first-termer, and he's just a total reliable vote for Chuck Schumer and anything he wants to do. I'm sure their votes have been 100% together during this whole 6 years. But, John James, has a Mississippi connection. His dad.
That's why I brought him up. Yeah.
And, he's a self-made man. I've got a picture here on my camera of my wife, Gail, and him that I took when we attended a fundraiser to help him last year. And to hear him talk, he's just so inspirational. It would be a game changer in the U.S. that if we could get somebody as articulate and believable and successful as John James.
He'd be excellent. Senator Roger Wicker, thanks so much for joining us today, Senator. We'll talk to you soon.
Good. I'm headed home tonight.
Great. Thank you. Stay safe, sir.